The Mizos are blessed with a great variety of beautiful dances, each for special occasions with their own unique style and significance. Most of these traditional dances have their own dress forms and accompanying instruments. Different clans within the Mizo subtribe have dances peculiar to their lifestyles. We shall look at some of the dances that have survived and are still popular today. The best known and considered by many as the most beautiful among the Mizo dances is the Tsero, also called the bamboo dance because of the predominant use of bamboo. Lady dancers move in and out of bamboo stalks that are rhythmically beaten by pairs of men on both sides. There are different steps that are danced in continuation, and each step is directly or indirectly connected with acts of planting and harvesting. Although it had a deep religious and social significance in the olden days, the Tsero is now danced on all festive occasions, especially as a welcome for honored guests. The dancers are beautifully clad in the traditional kortse and pontse, clear evidence of the Mizo's skill on the loom, and on their heads don the lovely vaqueria. Also called Ting Dim, the Kwal Lam is an integral part of Kwang Tsoi, an important ritualistic celebration. Families undertaking Kwang Tsoi would send a messenger to their relatives in other villages. These messengers are not allowed to speak until they place a certain stalk on the wall of their hosts. From this stalk, it is understood that the messenger comes bearing news of a Kwang Tsoi. On the day of the actual ceremony, relatives coming from other villages would shoot their guns at the outskirt and approach the village in dance. Since it was a dance performed by outsiders, it came to be known as Kwal Lam, Kwal meaning guests. In time, the dance was no longer confined to guests, and it became a popular performance on important occasions. It was originally a dance performed only by men, but women have now also been admitted as dancers. During the dance, men and women stand around in alternate positions with the puandum on their shoulders. The different steps in the dance include kaltluang, kalthel, arpui tsom thai, vasir len, and others. The dance is accompanied by instruments like the darbu, darmang, darkwang, and kwang.
lẽ mày à nghe thằng con thằng ngạ làm lúc mấy tiếng ô dân như cây var lổ lồng ô sai sao lại cái làm đồ này không quỳ ring luồng mình cây tir sờ lên in mình ngồi rú ban phật cả môi ô mềm in tiệt tiệm thằng này đi chụp nghề khăn cuốn cốc sόρăng chúc tu kino
Sai sau lai la kalam do ne sai sau lai la kalam do ne khong pei rum rum in te ji da lengin
Around the 1900s, a new form of singing called Boomazai originated, spreading like wildfire all over the hills. The entire community would dance to the accompaniment of the Booma singing. Over the years, with certain modifications to the words, tune and steps, a new dance form called Theitlam emerged. The dance begins with an enthusiastic few who pull out others from among the sitting crowd, and gradually the number of dancers would increase. Theitlam was predominantly a dance of the menfolk, but now women also participate. It is an energetic and invigorating dance and considered to be the most enjoyable. It is usually performed in the chief's house or in the village ground when the community has some good fortune to celebrate, and dancing the Theitlam to a rhythmic beat was an expression of their unbounded joy. The early Mizo would bring home as trophies from the battle the heads of their slain enemies as evidence of their victory. It was the privilege of the distinguished warriors called Pasalta to announce their homecoming by chanting Bohla amidst loud gunshots on arriving at the outskirts of the village. Immediately, the chief and the people would rush out to welcome the victorious warriors. The sweetest and the best of wine would be served to the homecoming heroes. Occasions such as this were a very special time to honor and pay tribute to the heroic warriors. It was the belief of the Mizo ancestors that if a ceremony of victory was not performed over the slain heads of the enemies, the spirit of the slain enemy would turn wild, and in the afterdeath, the slayer would not be able to enslave the enemy's spirit. Hence, loud shouts of victory and gunshots with the Pasalta chanting Bohla at regular intervals would accompany the eye ceremony of belittling slain enemies. In their battle clothes, the warriors together with the young men and women dance around the slain heads in a circle, and this merrymaking sometimes lasted for as long as 5 consecutive days. Gongs and cymbals also accompany it, but no songs are sung. The drummer is the leader. He determines the speed and duration of the dance through his drum. The dancers would menacingly aim at the slain heads, generally giving the impression that the dead enemies are held in contempt. An occasion such as this is conveniently used to motivate and encourage the little boys to become brave warriors. It was the duty of the women folk that everyone get an abundant share of wine. Thus, the Sarlamkai was traditionally a dance of victory performed with great zeal and enthusiasm. The Solakya is a dance belonging to the Mara tribe. Although closely related to the Ralulam of the Lusays and the Sarlamkai of the Boys in interpretation and display, a closer observation does reveal variations in the steps and makeup of the dance. The beautifully clad dancers, in the traditionally rich Mara costume, gracefully dancing the lovely Salakya, is a vision that delights audiences till today. A popular dance form of the Poi tribe, the dance form called Tsonglaizon differs widely between that of the Zahao Poi and the Halka Poi. The Zahaos use it to mourn the dead, while the Halkas use it in celebration. The Halka Poi Tsonglaizon is the one which has continued in popularity as a dance form. Boys and girls standing in rows dance to the beat of drums. Shawls are used as an accessory to the moves of the dancers. Tsai Lam invariably accompanied the celebration of the Tsaptar Kut in the past. In this dance, men and women stand alternately in circles, with women holding onto the waists of the men and the men's arms on the women's shoulders. Musicians accompanying the dancers play the drum and Maithan's horn and lead the dancers through their instruments and in song. A unique feature of the Tsai dance is that it could be danced only on the occasion of the Mizo's biggest festival, the Tsaptar Kut. This restriction served to enhance the people's enjoyment of it to such an extent that there were many occasions when the Tsai dance would continue for days on end. The dance needed no specialization and only required passion to sway to tunes proper to it, some of the more popular of which were Lalvunga Zai, Mangkaya Zai and Pimhuaki Zai. The Tlanglam is not an ancient dance form, having originated from the Pumazai in the 1900s. Male and female dancers stand facing each other and move their hands in rhythm to the beats of a drum. The musician on the drum leads the dance and song, which accompanies the dance. Tlanglam is a simple dance which is associated with certain love songs. This dance is also known to be the most enjoyable one for the young people. In the Tlanglam, male and female dancers stand facing each other, spreading their arms in front to wave at their partners. As they dance, others would walk around serving rice, meat, and an abundance of the local brew. This was a dance so greatly enjoyed by the young men and women that many chose to refrain from becoming Christians when the pioneer British missionaries prohibited practice of the dance in the initial years. Khel Khon is a dance which originated with the Pois. Though the exact date of its origin cannot be determined, it is believed to be an old form. It also has two forms, the po khel khon and the po lo khel khon, and it is performed on any occasion of merrymaking. The ceremony of Thang Chua was considered incomplete without the khel khon dance the entire day. The khel khon was initially danced with the male dancers wrapping their arms around the female dancers, while the ladies had their arms around the men's waists. As the dance progressed, however, all the dancers started placing their arms on each other's left shoulders, dancing their way forward in a graceful winding motion. The dance is led by musicians who accompany the dancers on the drum and the maithan's horn.
Tangan bali tangan baba